Hey everybody, welcome back to JakeBuilds. Second JakeBuilds of the year, and this time it's another GQuuuuuuX kit, and this will probably be the last GQuuuuuuX kit for a while. Of course, the others haven't released yet. I think the one as of right now has been the Zaku, like Zaku 2, I believe. However, we've kind of already seen that build, and, well, we kind of want to... I may get it just for posterity, but I don't know if it's going to be an actual JakeBuilds. But anyway, barring that, say hello to the Rickdom. So, again, with GQuuuuuuX kind of being a UC alternate universe, they have their own version of the Rickdom, which I find really neat. The Rickdom is unironically one of my top 20, 15 mobile or Xeon mobile suits, just because of how chunky it is, and I think I like this one even more, just because it's got 3 legs, which you don't see very often. But it's also a pretty big box, so that's why it's not really fitting on camera right now. Anyway, we're gonna go and take a look at right here, the Rickdom in a really cool pose with its 3 legs and its heat, I believe it's its heat stick. Looking at that, and then looking at the side here, you've got the Rickdom in action along with its 3 legs. It looks like it can retract and retract the 3rd leg to its back, but hell, I don't know why you wouldn't display this thing with its 3 legs. Just saying. Of course, you have a whole bunch of stuff, including its signature rocket launcher. I believe it's a rocket launcher. It doesn't say... Oh, giant bazooka. My bad. It is called a bazooka. Looking on the other side here, we've got another blurb showing the Rickdom, along with a blurb about the GQuuuuuuX story, but of course we've seen it over God knows how many times now. Moving off the side, we're going to get into the stickers, which there's very few here. Most of these are just marking or just... typically, I guess just marking, along with some foils right here. I don't know how integral these are going to be, but we'll see. These don't look like the color correcting stick, or a whole lot of color correcting stickers from last time. Going over the runners, we have Runner A and Runner B. I'm kind of going over these 2 at a time because there's a lot of runners here. So the multicolor runner has a dark blue, red, and dark purple, along with a piece right here for the eye camera. And the Runner B has actually 3 shades as well. You have a lighter purple, darker purple, and a dark purple, which I don't know if that'll pick up. It just kind of looks gray on the camera, but it's pretty neat. I like these colors. I think they're really neat because the Rickdom is predominantly purple, unless you get into the variants of the Rickdom for the Universal Century, and there's a lot. Moving on to Runner C1 and C2. Typically, these are just gray. Our typical gray, dark gray. Not a huge thing to look at. Mostly the inner frame and the joint pieces. For the mobile suit, pretty neat. Putting those back. Moving on to, I believe these are Runner E. Oh, well, we kind of skipped over D. I'll go back to D in just a second. But these are that injection molded silver, which I know some people hate. I don't mind it. It looks pretty neat, and it gives it some more class. I know some people don't like the injected purple. I don't care. Like, oftentimes, it looks fine to me. Makes it look a little more plasticky, but eh. But most of this is for the internal detailing, along with a lot of the verniers and stuff like that, so that's pretty neat. Putting that back over here. Then we'll go back to Runner D. Now, of course, Runner D1 and D2 is that classic Dom purple. Now, you can tell these are predominantly for the legs and some of the arms. I've already gone over the instruction manual just a little bit. But yeah, arms and legs, these are pretty neat. Classic Dom purple, can't go wrong. Believe it or not, we have not built a original Dom on this channel. We might have to remedy that soon. But anyway, moving on to the couple runners left. We have F1 and F2, which is dark. I believe it's a really dark blue because it has bluish accents. Now it looks kind of black on camera, but hey, it's, you know, didn't say this camera's perfect, and I do plan on upgrading it, but just saying it is no. And so this dark blue is pretty cool. I'm gonna throw that off back to the side. And our last two runners, we have the bazooka, which is pretty neat. Now, I did wish that some of these were colored in the sort of color separation that I have on the front of the box, but it doesn't really matter to me. It's just really neat. And I guess if you really wanted to, you could paint these bits up here to make it look more like the box, but I'll leave that up to you. I'm probably not. That's runner G, and then we have runner, I believe, 81BS. These are for the heat rods. Or I'm not entirely sure what they call them now. I could probably go look at the box again, but the original Rick Dom has a heat rod that it uses instead of beam saber. Now, I don't know, like I said, I haven't made it very far in the Quuuuuuux, so I'm not sure if these look like more advanced heat rods, basically. So, I should probably finish that while I'm on my vacation. I heard the ending is very, is some. So, of course, I haven't watched the ending, I've just heard about it. Of course, I should probably make a decision for myself. With that being said, with the runners out of the way, we don't usually go over the instruction manual anymore. So I figured we go ahead and get building.